What's good, ladies and gents? Welcome to the MKO Pugilism Boxing channel where we talk all things boxing. Remember to like, subscribe, hit the bell notification, put it on all so you get notified of all the latest content on the channel as and when it drops. So, without further ado, let's get into this one. So, I was just reading today earlier on article, basically Ben Shalom talking about plans he had. And one of the things that was brought up is the rematch, because apparently the Khan versus Brook fight had a rematch clause in place. As many of you will know, Khan has been talking about triggering that rematch clause. Last I heard, I think he has triggered the rematch clause, but Ben Shalom has put a condition on it because of how bad Amir Khan looked in that fight. Those of you who saw the fight will know that Amir Khan looked very shook up from, innocuous looking shots, jabs and stuff like that. Shots that may not have bothered him in the past. He looked like his punch resistance, which has never been very steady. He's never really had the greatest punch resistance or the greatest chin. Many people sort of call him glass jaw because he's quite a vulnerable fighter, but because of his speed and his sort of athleticism, his good fast hands, fast feet, he's always been able to deal with it. And but in the Brook fight, he couldn't really hold a shot very well at all. And so Ben Shalom has been out there saying, well, he needs to prove to us that he's not finished. And that's sort of the latest thing. He needs to prove to us he's not finished. And Shalom has been talking about, well, he needs to have an interim fight before we put him in there with Kell Brook. And I believe that will be not only to prove he's not finished, but I think that will be also down to a money thing as well, because you got to remember these guys, they're going to be, if that rematch does go ahead, they're going to be paid by Sky. The previous one, it was on Box Office, and they would have shelled out, Sky and Shalom as the promoter, they would have shelled out a load of money for Khan versus Brook, and they don't want to lose money. That's another thing. And obviously in the perception, the eyes of myself, the public, all you who watch that fight, Khan is totally finished. There's nothing. He's got nothing left to give in our eyes. After watching that fight, seeing the post-fight interviews where he was talking about maybe he doesn't have the desire for this anymore, etc., etc. That sort of thing now has certainly in my case, it's totally put me off of even any idea of actually having or watching Khan and Brook step in the ring again, because the bottom line is, in my view, he steps in the ring with Brook again, he gets Brock up again, he gets beat up again, and he maybe gets, this time, that the last time he didn't go down, he was sort of stopped on his feet. This time he goes down and he goes out and he goes to sleep. And this time out, it's a very, very dangerous thing. I mean, he could do himself some serious damage or permanent damage to the brain or whatever. This could be a fight where he gets damaged in a serious way that would affect his life after boxing. So I'd rather just see Amir Khan retire. But Ben Shalom has also mentioned in this article that he's looking at the option of Florian Marku. Now, Florian Marku is a guy that's come from a sort of kickboxing, I think it was either kickboxing or MMA background that he came from. He's a guy that is a serious, he's a puncher. Admittedly, he's not at the sort of elite world, he's not at sort of world level like a Kell Brook, who's nowhere near the sort of elite fighters in the welterweight division. But he is a puncher. He's a good sort of, at the moment, I would call him sort of a European type level fighter. And Shalom has suggested in this article, Boxing Scene, that he would be interested in making Florian Marku versus Amir Khan to show for Amir Khan to prove to Shalom and to Sky, to the money men who, if this rematch happens, these guys will be shelling out the money. He wants to line Amir Khan against Florian Marku up. And then if Amir Khan can get through that, at least it proves he's not finished. And I suppose it will give the public a little bit more confidence that, okay, maybe this guy's not finished. Maybe this guy's not as shot as we thought he was, if he can beat a Florian Marku. But in my view, even that fight against Florian Marku will be very, very dangerous. I mean, at this stage of Amir Khan's career, that fight's very dangerous because Marku can definitely bang, can definitely punch. He's a bit of a slugger. He's a fighter who fights on attrition. He's definitely more brawler than boxer, is Florian Marku. He's got skills, he can box a bit, but you can guarantee if he gets in there with Amir Khan, he's going straight after Amir Khan, and he's going to stick it on Amir Khan. And I reckon at this point in Amir Khan's career, you got to say even a guy like Florian Marku, he's not on the level of a Kell Brook, but even someone like him, because he can punch and because of coupled with, you've got the punch power of Marku coupled with the vulnerability of Amir Khan, and the fact that would he be able to get up for a fight with Florian Marku? Would he be motivated to fight a guy like Florian Marku, a guy who, years ago he'd have beaten and, maybe beaten comfortably. But so that's what Ben Shalom's talking about anyway, because obviously Marku's signing with a big fan base. He's got a big fan base from Albania. He's a ticket seller. People who do even videos on Marku online get lots of views. I even noticed that myself, a small channel, but I noticed some of the videos I do on him, it does up your views a little bit. So yeah, he's a popular guy, big ticket seller, he's a puncher. And Shalom said he's very interested in doing that fight between Khan and Marku. I personally think Amir Khan probably won't want to take that fight. I don't think he'll be interested because losing to Kell Brook is bad for him. That's going to follow him around, long after he's retired. But because obviously of the talk and his comments about him feeling that he's the superior fighter, he boxed Kell around the ring as an amateur, blah blah blah. But if he goes ahead now, fights Marku and loses to Marku, it's just going to do further damage to his career, and it could even do damage to his health. So I don't know. I don't know whether he will actually take a fight versus Marku. I personally think he won't. I think he'll just try and push for the Brook fight. I don't think he'll want to, as Ben Shalom says, prove himself. I don't think Amir Khan will really want to do that. I think he'll just try and push for the Brook rematch, and then if he can't get a Brook rematch, who knows? Maybe he just retires. But we'll see what happens. Let me know your thoughts on this. Let me know your thoughts on Marku versus Khan. Do you reckon Khan will humble himself and actually take that fight? Or do you, like me, just believe Khan won't and he'll just keep trying to push for the Brook fight? But again, that's a problem for him because who's going to pay for it? Who's going to want to watch that again? I don't think many people will. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Until next time, this is MKO Pugilism, over and out.